God is not gaslighting you with these big ideas that you have.
Mm.
Any moment that there's a chance to wear a ball gown, I don't care if we're going up the street. I'm like, a ball gown, put it on, like a gown to the floor, a train. And going on people's dressing rooms and trying their stuff. Like, go to sex, go into people's dressing room, try to hope that somebody is writing down whatever formula they think I have and that they do it and multiply it times 10. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I would tell my younger self, okay, we're not gonna cry.
Hey, y'all, welcome to Creative Conversations. I'm your host, Denise Upshaw, and today is such an exciting day. This is our debut episode where we are going to be talking to one of Houston's hottest influencers, fashionistas, and your girl next door and your girl on the runway. So when I tell you, you will not want to miss this. But let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing here at Creative Conversations. This is a space where Black creatives come to talk about not only what they're doing and how they got to where they are, but also to give us a little hint of what's on the horizon. I am so excited to jump right in. Let me tell you a little bit about our guest. Today we have Roneshia Ro Ray. She is a beauty enthusiast, fashion lover, and storyteller with a flair for turning everyday moments into runway ready inspiration. Known online as the modern day queen, Roneshia blends glam with grace, helping women embrace confidence, cultivate style, and live their softest, most authentic lives. From pageant stages to power meetings, she's proof that you can chase purpose and a good pair of heels, okay? When she's not curating looks or sharing beauty secrets, she's inspiring women everywhere to show up boldly, beautifully, and unapologetically as themselves. A quote that Roneshia says that I absolutely love is, "With purpose comes the ability to trust. Trust your purpose and create your hierarchy." So without further ado, Miss Roneshia Ray, the modern day queen. Hey, Ro, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, you're welcome, of course.
How are you feeling this morning, this afternoon, this day?
I feel good. The weather is finally like becoming fall adjacent in Houston. I mean, not too
Yes.
fall. We want to whip out any boots or anything, but it's definitely becoming like fall-esque. And so I'm feeling good. It's sunny, wearing some of my favorite brands. I got my wig on together today. So it's a
Girl,
great day.
man, when I tell you, that's all it takes. So let's start there then. Let's do a little vibe check. I
Okay.
want to know what you're wearing and like what
Okay.
influenced you to wear that today. What is
So
your
I am
vibe?
obsessed with these shirts from the brand called The Ballet. There
Ooh.
is a Black owner, designer, creative. Her name is Asha, and she makes these shirts that are kind of like this linen, but like kind of see-through in all colors.
Hey.
And so I'm obsessed with this because it's a really high quality button down that when you can put this on with jeans. I've worn it to church. I've worn it to just anywhere, brunch, lunch, birthday. These shirts, because I have them in all the colors, they get worn at least twice a week in my wardrobe. And then I am living for all things like stackable jewelry, my kind of signature rings. I'm missing my grandmother's, and then just this city necklace and these Bottega dupes and my normal basic girl beat. And I am like out the door. But this shirt, everyone has to have one. Even if you just get the white one, it's so pairable with so
Right.
many different things that it just works. It's really easy to add into your wardrobe. You don't have to think about it. Steam it, iron it, throw it in the dryer for wrinkle release, throw it out, loose jeans, joggers, biker shorts, a skirt, or whatever, and it works.
Girl, you just put my whole wardrobe together for the week. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's what I need.
It
And
works.
tell us again, what shirt is it?
So this is
What's the
called The
brand?
Ballet. If you
The
look up The
ballet.
Ballet on Instagram, she has nail lacquer, but in the nail lacquer section, outside of that, she also has merch, and the merch is merching.
It's merchant.
This is
Yes.
this is so good, and it's oversized, so it's one size fits all, and it just goes. I feel like I'm standing up. This one I wish I would have actually worn. presentable bottoms, but it just worked.
We chilling.
And then the
Okay.
back says the ballet
Yes.
color that it's supposed to be in. So we love
Yes.
her.
I love the oversized shirt as well. I think my vibe today, I was feeling like, you know what? We have enrolled the modern day queen. We having a beauty queen on this show. Like, I have to show up and I mean, show out just a little bit. But I am loving this kind of silky shirt as well with the chunky necklace.
Yep.
It's definitely giving like, where are we going tonight? I'm ready to go.
Bye.
And whenever I see Ro, I see you, out and about those places. I'm like, okay, let me see what Ro got on. Today I was like, let me go into the that expensive part of the closet and pull out something. Oh, just something
For the
little cute.
girls, for the girls, for the girls.
It's for the girls today. So I'm loving it. And I am so glad to debut our show with you
Aw.
because you are the quintessential Houston beauty Southern belle. You are so super sweet, so intelligent, so driven in all of your Black girl magic. So talk to us a little bit about how you got to this place and what is a modern day queen?
Well, that's a good question. I think I arrived here on accident, but I think God is always intentional in his ways and what he's doing.
Mm.
So I am a Houstonian by the way of Mo City, Texas. Grew up from a single mom, two younger brothers. And I think people think that my mom is like this girly girl, and she's quite the opposite. She is such a tomboy. Like, she would rather wear pants. She is like, do I have to wear heels? I think she owns two makeup products, and that is it. But
Right.
all the women around me that I either admired, that were my teachers, people that I looked up to, they were all so well polished and put together. And I think for the longest time, I was like, how do I do that? Like, how do we get there? How do we aim to like get at the ball gowns? Like, I want to go to the operas. I want to be at the ballet. I see all these things that are happening on TV, but that's not necessarily my reality right now. But I thank God for kind of the foresight that it wasn't my reality right then, but it wasn't far out of touch, and that I knew that it was possible and feasible. I just didn't know how. And so that's kind of how pageants kind of came into play. I
Okay.
competed for pageants for scholarship money, and then that kind of took off to winning Miss Black America and then Miss North America. And it just became a whole
Wow.
thing, but it really introduced me into this world of the arts. It really introduced me into what it is to curate your own looks and really be able to own the room while still giving space to other women as well. Not necessarily taking up space where you don't allow other people to shine, but just taking up space but still allowing other women to have the space to feel comfortable to talk to you, still be personable. My mom is from Louisiana, well, my grandmother. And so we are really big on Southern hospitality and being sweet and kind always. So I'm just happy that that translates over to when people meet me, that it's not this air of like cockiness, of arrogance, but that is still this welcoming space where we all can fit.
Absolutely. So relatable, so open, so generous as well with your time, with your story. I mean, I couldn't imagine anyone else kicking this off with us. So, again, super grateful for you, girl. And so, when you are defining the modern day queen and the royalty of who you are as a Black woman in America, and someone else is like, I wanna feel that, I wanna exude that same energy. What would you tell them? Like, how did you get to the place of having so much confidence that you are trying out for pageants or even in this day and age where you are kicking off businesses and you are being an influencer for these major brands?
I think accepting that every day won't feel like this. And then also
Mhm.
loads of therapy. I think that we think confidence is this thing where you think that you are perfect. I think confidence is knowing where you lack and knowing that you're working towards that and being accountable to accept that these are not my strong suits, but this is, and this is how I show up, and this is how I'm working to show up even better here. I think that when we put on this persona that every day is perfect, that's not really confidence. It's a sense of like arrogance almost. And that isn't. So I think the realness of being of really standing in, I'm not perfect. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to get some stuff right. I'm going to get some stuff wrong. And I'm okay with both. I'm okay with working forward and working towards what I got wrong. And I'm okay with really homing in on what I do well and really owning that shit. So I think that where like the modern day queen era is, if people are wanting to step into that, I think therapy has helped me tremendously. Um, to really acknowledge my inner child, acknowledge the things that I didn't have that I wanted as a kid, and not just materialistic things. 'Cause, I mean, we all wanted the easy makeup, and like we all wanted
Right.
the house. Yes, I wanted a power up too. But I think outside of that, like, what is it that your inner child was lacking, and what can you give her now to make her feel safe, heard, and seen? And kind of going from there to really build out this self confidence that is real and unshakable, and it's not dependent on other people.
Right, right. It's accountability to yourself, right? I remember speaking to someone, Jada Steele, shout out to Jada. She said that confidence comes from not lying to yourself. When you tell yourself you're going to do something, that you actually do it. Do you agree with that? Does that resonate with
Wholeheartedly.
you?
It's so funny you mentioned that. So I was writing like these little excerpts and I wrote these affirmation cards.
Yeah.
And one thing that came up is that the biggest commitment you'll ever make is a commitment to yourself. The commitment to yourself and to actually like hold yourself accountable to do it consistently, continuously, and for you.
Yeah.
So my morning walks that I take with my sister started off as like just morning walks that I would take with myself. I I needed my accountability partner because now it is not only am I dependent on me, she's also dependent on me to be there and to show up. And
Mhm.
so those morning walks to get our bodies moving so that we are in shape and to like actually walk the 4 miles, because we hit 4 miles today, but walk the 3 miles normally. It's
Right.
it's really something because if not, if you fail yourself first, you'll allow everybody else to fail you too.
Mm,
Like, if you don't do what you're supposed to do for yourself, it then becomes okay for other people to not do what they're supposed to do for you or about you. And they just kind of assess this cycle. But if you are constantly showing up for yourself, if you're constantly doing what you said you're going to do for yourself, if you're constantly maintaining boundaries, it's kind of hard for other people to come in and do anything other than that. It's almost offensive.
right, right. You're like, no, I'm doing this for me. So,
Yeah.
you got to rise to the occasion as
You got to
well.
do this or more.
Right. And so for that modern day queen, I'm hearing, there's the confidence building. So doing right by yourself and making sure others do right by you, working towards your goals. There's also this humility that I'm hearing with the southern hospitality, being approachable. What else would you say contributes to who you are as a modern day queen?
I think it is not leaving a door open behind you. Don't close it.
Mm,
Don't, lock it so that no one else gets to like what you think is a big secret. That nothing that
right.
I have achieved or accomplished is a secret that I don't think that anybody else can do it or that it's not feasible for somebody else. I hope that somebody is writing now whatever formula that think I have and that they do it and multiply it times 10 and hit some pinnacle level of success that
Mhm.
is kingdom, hierarchy, community, whatever it is not just for me. It is literally a love letter for my younger self that I hope is a map to any other girl, woman that wants to or sees any part of themselves in me to know that they have access to all of this.
That is so big. That is deep. The love letter to your younger self, like you are curating within your space the love, the mentorship, the style and fashion and opportunities that you would have wanted for yourself, but that you also are offering to others. So it's
Sure.
like this abundance. And tell me, this kind of leads into the question that I have for you about your mentorship program. Talk to us a little bit about that. And how did that get started? Like, what influenced that for you?
So it started with the Miss Black Texas organization when I was Miss Black Houston, USA. And so you have to pick up a platform. And I think people think pageants and they think, oh, you have to look pretty and
Right.
to wear like the perfect dress and they're going to score you like, is your face card like a perfect? And it's like, that is a part of it. Yes. But there's also a part of the scholarship pageant systems that asks you, what are you going to do for your community? And at
Right.
19 years old, I was like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do for my community? Like, I do community service, like I go feed the homeless, but I think the directors, JC and Candace, really pushed me to think outside of like, besides the community service that you're doing daily, reading to children, feeding the homeless, volunteering at schools, what can we pull out of you that can help other people in your community? And it really forced me to be honest with like my upbringing to say, you know what? We were homeless during my senior year of high school. My mom didn't graduate from high school. I'm a first generation graduate. And
Right.
so what is it that I can actually pull to help other women? But before I can even do that, it was like, girl, you got to be honest with yourself. What is it that you've gone through that can be helpful to other young girls around you. And that is how the mentorship program started. It started with a charm school that took place in Houston, and I wasn't expecting 10 girls to show up, 60 girls showed up. And then
Wow.
when we were in San Antonio and 110 girls showed up, so much that we didn't even have space, and we had to start pulling tables out for girls to come. And then we go to Dallas and it's the same thing. And next thing I know, I'm in New York at Brownsville Academy and it's another charm school. And then we're somewhere else and it's another charm school. Then we're in Atlanta. And then it's just like before we know it, we take this charm school that was just meant to help me kind of get out my shell, to tell people my business, to be like, okay, I know it looks really perfect here, but it hasn't always been like that. It turned
Right.
into this national charm school that then turned into this gala called Perfect Match, A Date with My Younger Self, which we paired
Mm.
65 girls with 65 women for a date with their younger self. That was a gala that ended up being a scholarship that before then turned into a pageant. So it's been this trajectory of, are you going to be honest with yourself about the things that you're overcoming? In that honesty,
Wow.
you can either one or two things: help save somebody else, push them forward to believe in themselves, or you cannot be honest about what's happening, what you've gone through, and you don't help anybody, not even yourself, because even in
Right.
me thinking that I'm helping them, it's helped me tremendously so much to be able to reflect, to say, you've gone through this, these things have happened. No, it hasn't always been great, but like, here are the things that you've overcome. Here are the people that have been in your corner. Here are the things that you're still pushing through. Here's how you've grown as a woman. Here's some things that you used to do back then were like, oh, if this happened, you would be shook it. Like, you wouldn't have been able to get out the bed, girl. But now this happened, and you're kind of like, all right, it happened. Cool, cool. I got it. I'm going to keep pushing.
You know what? You are speaking to my soul. You are speaking to my soul. When I tell you that the fact taking inventory of those who were in your corner, right? Because it's so easy to get caught
Girl,
up in like, I wish, or, why didn't I? And it's like, well, actually, I did have a few, there were
yeah,
people along
there
my
are
angels.
people.
That's what I call them along the way who really did help.
There were
And
women.
so you are speaking to my spirit with that and so many elements of the charm school, how it's blossomed into something so beautiful. And being true to ourselves is the first start. That's definitely what I'm hearing is like accepting your path for what it is. And I didn't go to my prom. When I'm hearing you say that that's an opportunity for to pair young girls with women who may have missed a part of their life, missed that childhood part of their life. I'm like, am I about to tear up in here?
Take every moment to, I don't want to say make up, but I think make your inner child feel safe. I don't think I've ever said this
Right.
out loud, like on broadcasted. But one
Yeah.
thing that really, really shook me in that time of us being homeless, I was in the debutante program and we were about to debut. And unfortunately, my mom could not afford the rest of the fees. And
Mm.
so the sponsor couldn't pay whatever fees it was. So what she did was she asked me to MC the debutante gala. And in her asking me to MC, I know that was a way to make me feel included. And so she asked me to wear all black and I would MC it. But I remember getting there and seeing all the girls in their white cotillion gowns and just feeling so excluded, so
Mm.
like not worthy of like the white gown, not worthy of being in like this fancy place. And it was years later that I realized every pageant gown I had for years was white. And I was subconsciously picking the white gown to try to make up for this moment where like I didn't have
Mm.
access to something, or I felt like I didn't deserve it if it was out of touch. And now I look at grown up me, and any moment that there's a chance to wear a ball gown, I don't care if we're going up the street. I'm like, a ball gown, put it on, like a gown to the floor, a train. And it's like, well, where are you going? I am going to make up to my inner child, the young me who saw all these things and thought that she would never have access to them. Baby, you got them. And so if it is a ball gown, if it is a train with 12 feet, and if it is the most dramatic skirt, like, you got it. Because like, you owe that to you. Like, you owe it to say, no, we didn't have access to it, or we didn't have the opportunity for it then, but now we do. And you make your own
Right.
prom, you make your own debutante couture, you make your own stage. If it is, you didn't make I don't know, the theater team. And so when it's
Right.
karaoke time, you let your inner child shine.
Right.
Let her shine, baby. Like, let her shine, because you deserve it. If not, you'll be forever trying to figure out what is that missing space. And I know people think that, oh, she got dressed up all dressed up for, all these people. No, I got dressed up for me.
Right.
I have nothing to do with
Right.
you. I got dressed up for me.
And y'all, you gotta follow Ro on IG because when I tell you there are ball gowns weekly. I'm like, "Where is she going today?" Oh,
Everywhere.
it's beautiful. I told someone, I'm like, "She's the belle of the ball." That leg action
That's
is
it.
showing, you working it, and it is with such grace and beauty, so I love that. How did you transition from, like, the runway with your pageantry to, like, the fashion world?
That's a
Because
hard
you are
transition.
really big in Houston, and you are called on to, participate in all of these fashion shows, and so, yeah, talk to us about that.
I think pageantry really gave me the start of, like, learning how to walk. I think I really found my style once I retired from the Miss Black America pageant system. So after you give up your crown, it's kinda like, "Well, what are you gonna do next?" And I thought that I wanted to own, like, a gown store, but in actuality, I wanted to own a clothing store, and I did for 4 years, where we got to curate looks and pick out our own clothing, and in that, I really got a chance to figure out, like, what is my style. I also dated this really amazing lady, who worked for the WNBA, and
Mhm.
she was such an amazing stylist and really knew her style, and she really helped point me in the right direction to say, "You wanna wear these kinda things, and I see where you're going with this, like, here are some places or here are some ideas or things that you can do to kinda beef up your wardrobe," and I kinda took that and ran with it. I'm like, "Oh, girl, you gave me the blueprint, I got the rest. Like, even if you and I don't work, like, thank you for your time and
Right.
services. However, this little nugget that you dropped really helped me elevate my style a lot, and I really found myself in the Vogue magazines, found myself
Mhm.
on Pinterest, found myself watching the runway shows and trying to figure out, okay, if I can't get Chanel 2015 spring, how can I get something that looks like that still is like quality, that's gonna give me that look, and
Mhm.
really homing in and figure out, okay, this is my style. This is not trying different things. I went through a phase where I thought all things that are glitter were just me. I hate I hate rhinestones, and that is such like a pageant faux pas to hate rhinestones and glitters, like, pageants are rhinestones and glitters. What do you mean you hate it? It's not for me, but
Mhm.
kinda find your style, and so I still feel like this is my style right now. I feel
Right.
like I'm very classic, chic, timeless. I feel like as I get older, maybe my style will evolve. Maybe I become an edgy girl. Maybe it becomes something else, but just giving yourself permission to evolve,
Right.
giving yourself permission to try different things. I mean, it's clothes. If you don't like it, take it off. Nobody's tattooing it on your body. And going on people's dressing rooms and trying their stuff. Like, go to Saks, go on people's dressing room, try their stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
Try on their stuff. See if it like, if you saw something in Saks or on the runway Saks in Houston, it
Mhm.
probably has it. Go in the dressing
Mhm.
room, figure out your size, try it on, say, "You know what? I like the way this fits." Point out the things that you like. Okay, you like the corseted bodice, you like that it has boning, you like that it's A-line. Okay,
Right.
cool. Take that off. Put that back in the rack. Don't damage some people's stuff. Go to
Right.
the Zara, see what they have that kind of mimics that for you and gives that same style. And when the time is right, or if it never comes back, you go back and you get what you want.
Wow, you are truly speaking to us in this moment. Thank you so much for sharing that because I love the idea of dreaming, daydreaming. In the past, I'd be like, I don't want to window shop. If I can't buy it, I don't want to go. But there's something tapping into your inner child of like just daydreaming, like, where could I be in this gown? You're imagining a whole world that you're going, a whole event or whatever, where you are absolutely made for that gown is made for you and you are made for that gown and you're going somewhere. So I love the idea of just going to, find even a little boutique shop, but going somewhere where they have really nice quality gowns or anything that you may like and trying it on and just getting a feel for that to give you some inspiration. And then you go right to where you need to go to make that look come to life for yourself in this moment, but you can always circle back.
And
What
Pinterest
do
can
you
be your
see on the Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Pinterest could be your best friend. I love Pinterest for like outfit ideas and just bookmarking things that I think will work, even from home design. This design in the back was on my Pinterest wall for years that I wanted some type of abstract wall with like black and white with gold accents. So just knowing that it may not happen, in the next 30 days, but keep it there and it's always funny to me that like when I pin stuff, especially clothing items, and then I come back and I find that I have that item that I totally forgot that I pinned this in 2019, but it's come full circle.
Very nice. And where do you see fashion or mentorship, what's on the horizon? What is coming? What are some of the trends that you're seeing as it relates to some of the things that you're doing in your modern day queendom over there?
Yeah, the trends for this summer, I don't know if y'all caught the runway, but Chanel, they have a new designer there. And so we haven't seen Chanel be this avant-garde to me and like their spring ready to wear pieces in a very long time. I really enjoyed their runway show. I really enjoyed Sergio Hudson's runway show this year. That was at New York Fashion Week. Some of the coordinates that he paired, like the purple and purple, the matching monochromatic styles, and just the
Mhm.
textures and even some of the corset and the bone, he had some zebra pieces that I thought were absolutely amazing. So I think that for a while we were in like this mundane of like no color, everything neutral, like no pops, nothing different. Everybody stay in line. I think the girls are breaking out of that. They now want color, they want patterns, they want texture, they want volume. And so you can see designers leaning more towards that. And I'm really happy to see it come down the runway and then trickle into everyday fashion into your department stores for more accessible fashion. So I'm interested to see how that goes. As far as mentorship, I said this to my sister the other day. There is something happening with being a Christian is cool now.
Right.
A lot of girls like on the internet, not my age and not to say that I'm old, but like younger girls like 19, 20, really taking their relationship with God seriously and wanting to share that with others. And I just think that that is it makes my heart smile because there was a point in time where it was almost like not cool to talk about God and not cool to talk
Right.
about reading your Bible or not cool to talk about church. And I'm just so thankful that like my 11:30 saints, as I call them, my 12 o'clock saint services, that they are sharing and encouraging other people to come into a space of a relationship with God and that churches are looking to be non-traditional and not so shunning.
Mhm.
And they're starting to create these spaces where, your church doesn't have to look like grandmama church. You don't have to look like big mama church. You don't got to
Right.
go in there with your church hat and your stockings on. You can come as you are and creating these spaces where young people can get to know God for their own relationship and what he means to them. And I really love that. And I think how it's tied into mentorship is you seeing people creating mentorships for people that are around the same age group where it was, I'm going to mentor somebody younger than me. And now it's like, well, we're in this mentorship program together, or we're in this mentorship space together because we have similar beliefs in like, you're here and something, and I want to
Right.
be there too. And so let's get together. So I think it's evolving, and I really love that. And specifically here in Houston, because we've now become a melting pot of people that are not from here. You can see the influx of just different groups forming. I hate the word community, but community,
Yeah.
kind of forming. And let me not say hate. We have overutilized community
Yeah, over
and
you said, yeah.
really made it marketable for a profit gain. And I don't like that.
Right.
But it's really coming together. I think mentorship is changing to this community form and really
Mm.
challenging people to show up and do the work internally. And then when you do that work internally, show up to help somebody else do that same work as well.
Absolutely. I agree with you that becoming as we are walking in our truth, which is becoming cool within itself, right? Like, nope, I don't prefer to do that thing. I know my parents wanted me to do it and I know that, society wants me to do it, but that's not really my thing. Or yes, I want to embrace my core values, which Christianity is one of those. And so my friends and I have Bible study in the park. I've seen
Yes.
flyers for that. I've seen so many events, and I love the peer mentorship, like the peer to peer mentorship. And you have your girls, and you guys just like have Bible study. I have a friend, we do Bible study every Tuesday. And it's just relating what we read in the Bible to life right now and just keeping a pulse on what God has for us in our destiny. So I love that you bring that up. Being the modern day queen is sounds like a lifestyle for healthy living. It
Mhm.
sounds like a lifestyle to honor your inner child. And it's a lifestyle to help those in the community directly in Houston, but at large, and I can definitely see you taking your mentorship program around the world and those girls showing up and wanting to, learn the little bit of charm, but also learn to be their authentic self and walk in that just like you do.
Let's see.
So, Ro, in this moment, to close out, what is something that you would tell your younger self based off what you know now?
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I would tell my younger self, okay, we're not gonna cry. I would tell my younger self that God is not gaslighting you with these big ideas that you have.
Mm.
You have to be patient. Don't be so desperate that you start to accept anything. But in your patience, rely on the people that have shown they can be reliable. Know that everything you have, everything you've gone through, everything you've overcome will be tools to launch you to what you say that you want. And in all things, your grandmother's words will ring true. That to whom much is given, much is required. And in all things, trust God. That is what I would tell my younger self. If I could sit her down and just like hold her hand, that this big imagination that you have, these ball gowns that you see, this Hollywood sign, it's going to happen. But if you try to rush it and do it with your own hands, you will destroy it. But if you're patient and allow God to manifest it and allow God to orchestrate it the way that He sees fit, it will come to fruition. But don't ruin something being desperate.
And on that note, stay in the light, y'all. And thank you so much for
It's
watching
welcome.
Creative Conversations.